Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am unboxing the January Target Beauty Box. I'm going to go through all the items. I've tried most of them, so I'll give you my thoughts on them. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to do just a quick little demo to show you how to use the sleek palette that is in this box. And this is the look that I'm going to get. So if you're interested in seeing that look, then stay tuned to the end. If you just want to see what's in this box, then you can just sign out as soon as I'm done going through it. So let's start. The very first product is a clay mask, if you can see that. I don't use clay masks. I have very dry skin. It's wintertime here, so it's even drier than usual. I might potentially use something like this during the summer, but if you have really dry skin, I kind of recommend staying away from clay masks. I may give this to my 11-year-old daughter, or I may just put it in a giveaway pile and just give it away later on to somebody who would use it. So it seems like a decent product, but I'll never use it. Next product is the No. 7 Restore and Renew Face and Neck Multi-Action Serum. I put it on my hand. It's kind of a light, lotion-y type serum. I already have a skincare regimen for my face, so I'll probably just use this on my neck and my chest. And it didn't smell overpowering or anything. I'm not sure how well it'll work, but I'll find out over the next week. Next product is the Pillow Plump, and this is kind of like a lip gloss when you put it on. And at first it smells and feels kind of menthol, kind of like if you were to take Biofreeze, which is that it's that gel or that lotion that you put on that helps with sore muscles, and it has menthol in it. So it kind of feels like that and smells like that at first, and then it starts to tingle, and then it starts to burn, and then it feels like your lips are being electrocuted. And I thought after all of that, my lips are going to be plumped. They're going to be beautiful. So I went to the mirror and looked, and they looked the same. There was no plumping effect at all. I didn't notice any difference. And if I'm going to go through that much pain, then by golly, you had better plump my lips, and you did not. So this is going in the trash. Next item is the Righteous Butter, and it's a body moisturizer. It's by Soap and Glory, which is a really popular Target brand. It is very moisturizing. It's for dry skin, and since it's winter, I need moisturizing stuff, and so this works really well. My only gripe about it, I've been using it as a hand cream. My only gripe about it is that it smells kind of like cologne, kind of like a subtle men's cologne, and when you put it on your hands and your hands warm it up, that scent just really comes through, and it's a little bit much for me. I don't mind scented products, but I really don't want to smell like men's cologne, if you know what I mean. So I will definitely use this up because it's extremely moisturizing. It's a great hand cream. I'm sure it's a great body cream as well, but it's just a little overpowering for me. Next item is the No. 7 Airbrush Away Primer. And I actually have this on underneath my makeup right now. And it does a little bit of pore blurring, which is great. It's nothing out there will completely blur your pores. It just doesn't exist. That kind of product does not exist, unfortunately, but this does blur a little bit, and then it has silicones in it, so it's very smoothing, and it works. See, I put my makeup on at 6 this morning, and my makeup hasn't budged, so it's definitely done a good job of holding my makeup in place. So I would say that this is probably a decent primer. I'm going to continue using it over the next week and just see what my final thoughts are after the week. The last item in this box is freaking adorable. It is a little tiny sleek palette. I have never used sleek makeup before, so I'm excited to try it, but look how adorable this thing is. It looks like it's made for an American doll, one of my daughter's American dolls. It is so darn cute. So I'm kind of excited to use it. I would say the pans are about the size of a dime, probably a little bit smaller than a dime. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a demo for you. And I haven't used this yet, so I will just kind of give you my overall thoughts on it as I'm using it. And I use a ton of eyeshadow, so I consider myself pretty eyeshadow savvy. So if you want, you can end the video here. If you want to stick with me, I'll do a quick demo so that give you some ideas on how you can use this eyeshadow. Okay, so take a look at your sleek palette. It has a perfect matte beige shade that you can set your primer with. I have already put on Urban Decay Potion Primer, so I'm going to use this color and I'm going to set the primer. Next I have this, it's kind of a mauve eyeshadow color, and I'm going to go in and use that as my transition shade. This shade right here. And I'm using a Real Technique crease brush. And I am shading in my crease area. This little palette has the perfect crease shade, and it's a matte brown shade, and it is that second shade right there. So I'm going to put that in my crease as my main crease shade. That is a highly pigmented color, so I would suggest using very gentle tapping motion when you go into that pan to get the product. I'm using small circular motions to blend that color out. And again, it is very pigmented, so I would recommend going in with a light hand. I think I was expecting, since this is Sleek, which is a little bit less expensive of a makeup brand, I was expecting it to not be as pigmented, but it is very pigmented. So just be sure that you don't get too much on your brush, or you will spend hours like I am right now just trying to blend it out. I have hooded eyes, so because of that, I like to use a light color all over my lid to start with. I'm going to take that pretty gold color, I'm going to put that all on my lid. And I'm just using a flat shading brush to do that. This gold is not nearly as pigmented as that brown color was, that brown matte. So you can go in with a heavy hand and not be afraid that you're going to get too much product. Next, I'm going to go in with that bronze color, which is right here, if you can see that. And I'm going to put that on the middle of my lid. And I'm going to use the same shading brush that I used to put the gold eyeshadow on. And all I'm doing is packing that color onto the center of my lid. Next, I'm going to take the star of the show, which is that gorgeous copper color. I think that is the prettiest color in this entire palette. It is beautiful. I'm going to put that on my V, so the outside 1/3 of my eye. And I'm going to use a pointed defining brush. I'm also going to work this color just a little bit into my crease, just to add a little more depth and a little bit more interest to the color combination. Next, I'm going to take a small blending brush, and I'm going to start blending out that darker color, that copper color. There are two great highlighting shades in this palette. They're both on the top row. That very first shade would make a great highlighting shade. Then the second to last shade would make a great highlighting shade. This shade right here is a little bit lighter. And since I am so fair right now, since it's middle of winter, I'm going to go ahead and use that to highlight underneath my eyebrow. And I like to use a fat brush to do that. I know a lot of people like to use thin detail brushes. So just use whatever brush you feel comfortable with. If you want to define your eye even more and really make your eyes pop, go ahead and pick a deeper shade, and you really could use any of these deep shades. I would not use anything that leans red though, because it will make you look like you have pink eye. At least on me it does. So I'm just going to take my crease shade and I'm going to use that dark shade. I'm going to outline underneath my bottom lash line, and if you want to do your top lash line, you could do it there as well. So this is the final look. I'm gonna go off screen and I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and put some mascara on, and I'll be right back. This is the final look. So some thoughts on this palette. It is pigmented. The colors are a little soft. You don't really have to dig in there to get much pigment, which is, I think, is nice. It's fairly buildable. This color right here, this matte brown, is super pigmented. That's really the only one that you need to be careful of to make sure that you don't get too much on your brush and then end up loading up your eye with too much pigment and you can't blend it out. So that's the only color, in my opinion, that you have to be careful of. The rest of them are fairly pigmented, fairly buildable. I would say that Sleek has a pretty nice formula. I'm impressed with it. So, and this is the final eye look, and I like it. It's pretty. So in closing, was that Target box worth $7? No. Most of the items I'm not really going to use or I didn't like. I enjoyed trying out that sleek. I think if you're into novelty items and you like that little tiny small palette, I mean, that's a major novelty, really cute item that I love. So if you're into that kind of thing, then I would say that this box was worth $7. Otherwise, no, probably not worth it. But I have had boxes in the past that from Target that I have absolutely loved that have definitely been worth it. So I will probably continue to buy them. So thanks for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And I love talking to you all. And I just want to say thanks for watching. Bye.